Today, I'm going to answer a few questions from the mailbag. The first question that I had was, what type of lawyer do I need? Well, unfortunately, the questioner didn't talk about what kind of problem they had or what kind of issue they needed solved, so it's difficult for me to opine on what kind of lawyer they need. So this is more a general discussion of what kinds of lawyers there are and how you might go about searching for one. But I think the first and maybe even the most important thing about finding a lawyer and getting a lawyer that's good for you is you first have to find one that is ethical and competent. Those are the two main requirements. As with any profession, there are good and bad in the legal profession. And some of them are better than others, some of them are worse. And probably the best and most important thing you can do is go get some recommendations from friends or relatives who have had the occasion to need a lawyer in the area where you need one. Now, let's talk about the different kinds of lawyers. There are really two broad classifications of lawyers. The first I would call transactional lawyers. Those are the kinds of lawyers who evaluate business deals, look at contracts, offer advice on whether you should or should not sign a contract. Those are transactional lawyers. Transactional lawyers are good if you need something analyzed and an opinion, a legal opinion about the effect of a particular document or contract. So, for example, if you sign a document in order to get a job and it's a confidentiality requirement, is that valid? Well, a lawyer should be able to tell you. A non-compete agreement, that for some reason restricted your ability to compete in the local area. Would that be valid? Again, a lawyer could tell you that. Those are transactional lawyers. The difference between a transactional lawyer and a litigation attorney is that a litigation attorney actually has experience in court and usually goes about either prosecuting or defending actions on behalf of other people. So, for example, if you were injured in an automobile accident, you would look for a personal injury attorney, somebody who handles claims related to traffic accidents or falls or workplace injuries, and who knows the law in those areas. If, on the other hand, you had the unfortunate experience to come into contact with the law, you might find yourself needing a criminal attorney, in which case you would need someone who has experience in the criminal courts. Experience and relationships in the criminal courts are probably more important than anything else. What you're looking for is a criminal attorney who has some experience handling those matters and who knows the judge, who knows the prosecutor, and who knows the local area and the jury. Different parts of the country produce different kinds of juries. For example, in Missouri, where I practice, it is quite common for plaintiffs to want to try their case inside the city of St. Louis because city juries tend to return much larger verdicts. The county of St. Louis, which is sort of the donut around the donut hole of St. Louis City, tends to be much more conservative, and it tends to deliver verdicts that are, shall we say, a little bit stingier. So the different makeup of the jurors makes a big difference about whether or not someone might be convicted of a crime. And that probably doesn't seem obvious to you, but obviously people who have different socioeconomic backgrounds view criminal matters differently. And I think that's where I'll leave it. I would just say that it's very important when you're looking for an attorney to get someone who appreciates those differences and who knows how to use those differences to your best effect. One of the key factors in any trial, whether it's civil or criminal, is jury selection. And I'll be doing a presentation on that shortly. But obviously, irrespective of whether you're doing a criminal case or you have a civil case, having somebody who knows the local area is very important. A lot of times, lawyers who have come to try a very big case who may not be from the local area will hire a local lawyer to act as their local counsel, specifically so that they can advise the lawyer on things that they may wish to stay away from or things that are very necessary to inquire on in voir dire, which is what lawyers call jury selection. So again, just sort of reiterating, the most important quality that you need to find in an attorney is his ability to be ethical. You want someone who has never been sanctioned by the bar for any alleged misconduct. Ethics is a very important part because if a judge appreciates the fact that a lawyer is ethical, he is liable to give him more leeway and more leniency in presenting evidence than if he thinks the person might not necessarily be always on the side of the angels. So ethics is, again, a very important element. Competence is important. And it's difficult for a layperson to judge a lawyer's competence because lawyers can throw out lots of Latin-sounding words and sound like they're geniuses. But what you can do is check that individual's track record and ask them, have you tried a case like this? Have you ever handled this kind of matter before? What were your results? Have you made mistakes in handling cases? How did you learn from those? Those are the kinds of things that it's perfectly permissible to ask an attorney when you're interviewing them to take on your claim. You need to understand that you're hiring an employee. You're not just engaging a lawyer, you're hiring an employee. And you have every right to know what that employee's history is and whether or not that employee can do the job that you're hiring them to do. So hopefully that explains what kind of lawyer you need. If you found this information useful or helpful, I hope you would smash that like button and perhaps subscribe so that you can be notified whenever I release another video. Thank you for watching and have a great day.